do you think Donald Trump is doing with this talk about annexing Canada through economic means?
I think that when President-elect Trump talks, we need to listen, and we need to take him very seriously. I never take his threats lightly. At the same time, we can't take debate. And I think also that we're extremely strong as a country. I think, can I just finish? I think we're extremely strong as a country. I think our economy is strong. I think our people are strong. And I think we will never back down.
Mr. Trump, he's now saying they'll use economic force to ensure that Canada and the U.S. merge. What's your reaction to that? And how should Canada respond?
My reaction is that our Canadian team remains disciplined. It remains focused. It remains dedicated to managing this relationship with members of the incoming administration. It means showing progress. I'm very pleased that in my first 2 weeks in the job, we've announced 5 major changes. As recently as yesterday, for example, we made sure that our opening hours in Canadian ports of entry are aligned with American ports of entry and vice versa. That's been a nuisance for some time. On December 23rd, we ended the notion of flagpoling, a huge irritation, 70,000 people boomeranging across our border and coming in and applying at a port of entry. I think what we need to do is continue to show progress. There will be a lot of noise. There will be a lot of drama. But the Government of Canada and our team is committed to building solid relationships with members of that incoming administration. And I look forward to sitting down with my counterpart, Mr. Homan. And I will sit down with him.
Do you think you're joking?
And I will in due course. Tomorrow I'm in Montreal at the port. Friday I'm at the border crossing between Quebec and New York. Sunday and Monday I'm in BC visiting with our teams out there on the port to see the progress that we're making. So my focus is not to speculate. My focus is not to theorize. My focus is to show progress.
Do you think Trump is joking anymore? And how serious are you taking it?
Well, of course we take comments seriously, but we need to remain disciplined.
But is he joking?
I've never spoken to Mr. Trump. I don't know the man. I suspect he is running his own campaign domestically. All politics is local after all. But I think in due course, there are many, many millions of Canadians and Americans who know each other, who work together, who trust each other, and know that we are integrally linked.
How is Trump engaging with your team on border security? Because obviously the 2 ministers went to the States, presented this border plan. His team promised to take it to Trump, but then he made all those comments yesterday. So how is his team continuing to engage?
With inexorable momentum, we're moving forward.
Can you elaborate?
Sure. We are in constant, we have 3 streams. A political stream, where we're engaging. An official stream, where we're engaging. And an operational stream, where we're engaging. The head of the RCMP and a few other agencies will be in Washington, D.C. on Friday, for example, to continue dialogue, to show progress. So this is a systematic, disciplined, move-forward approach to showing improvement. That's how we're dealing with the administration, the incoming administration, because we need to be disciplined about this. It's easy to get thrown off. That's not a good idea. We need to keep showing progress and reminding Americans just how incredibly connected we are. We are more than connected economically. We are connected as neighbors. Our land masses are contiguous. Our Great Lakes are contiguous. Our species move between our countries. Our people move between our countries. So we have so much more in common than divides us.
And have you met in the U.S.? Yesterday, Trump was saying the border is just an imaginary line. We may as well just get rid of that. How does Canada assert its sovereignty in this moment right now?
You don't need to assert your sovereignty when you're a sovereign state. As a former,
see it that way from the look of it.
Well, look, I mean, there's lots of rhetoric and lots of talk, and there's lots of newscasting and lots of color commenting going on right now. Our government, the Government of Canada, is focused on implementing measures that will help us. And I think that's where we're making progress, and we're going to continue, step by step by step. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. You know what I say to my American friends? There are 36 states in America that wake up every single day and say thank goodness for Canada. Why? Because we are the top customer. We're the top customer. And you know, we're a great customer. And here's the other thing I would also say. You know who likes doing business with us? Those very businesses in Republican states, whether it's Ohio, whether it is, Arkansas, whether it is, Missouri. So there is a win-win here for Canadian, for Americans, and these jobs are American jobs.
He's not joking at this point.
He is not. He is not, and we are taking it seriously, and we will respond seriously as well. But I have done a lot of work meeting Canadian businesses, American legislators, and they understand the importance of this relationship. And as I say to the Americans, and the president knows this, he knows how important American jobs are. But 36 states, think about that, 36 states count Canada as their top customer. It isn't Japan, it is not China, it is not United States. Or United Kingdom. We sell more. We buy more from the Americans than those three countries combined. That's the importance of this relationship.
So you acknowledge that he's not joking anymore, and you say you're taking this seriously, but how concerned are you with this is going beyond trolling now?
We are, of course, we have to be concerned when tariffs and punishing tariffs are going to hurt the Canadian economy. You've seen us stand up for Canadian businesses all the time. We've never, ever wavered from doing that. We will not do that this time. But I actually think that the work that Minister LeBlanc, Minister Joly, the Prime Minister has done around issues of border, which we also share, that's really good work. That's an example of how we'll work together. But we need to keep doing this because this trading relationship is far too important to Canada. But quite candidly, it's really important to American jobs. Remember, 36 states wake up every day because they count Canada as their top customer.
Trump wants to get for Canada and trying to deal with the U.S. with this lingering leadership question, especially with Trump talking about annexation.
We have a really effective foreign minister. We have a really effective minister of trade. We have an effective prime minister. We have an effective, extremely effective ambassador in Washington. The reality is we have Mr. Trump with us now for 4 years. So let's not overreact today. We have to have a plan to make sure that Canada succeeds and Canadians succeed. We'll stand up to Mr. Trump. He has shown very clearly in recent days he doesn't understand Canada, so we have to make sure that we continue to tell him what Canada is and what Canada is not. Canada is not part of the United States, and it's never going to be part of the United States, and so we can say that very clearly, but let's just react very carefully over the next long term.
Trump, the fact that the threats against Canada are perhaps bigger than ever, and yet there's this leadership race right now. Do you think the timing is off? Do you think Canada is in a weak place as a result?
Well, when is a good time? There'll always be a crisis somewhere or something, and Donald Trump has added, I guess, a huge crisis to not just Canada, but to Panama, to Greenland, Denmark, you name it. It gives him airtime, and he's been paid attention to with the U.S. channels. But I wouldn't put much credence in anything Donald Trump says today.
How should Canada be responding to that threat?
I don't know. I think the Prime Minister gave a good response yesterday. Hell will freeze over before Donald Trump takes over Canada.
But should he address Canadians?
What's
Instead
that?
of just tweeting, should he talk to Canadians about that instead of just tweeting?
Well, I think it is out there for Canadians to know. It was on the news feed today on my TV in the morning. I didn't know about it until I seen it on the TV screen. But it was plain and simple, to the point.
But do you think the race happens too late? Right now, a lot of people are saying we should be focusing on Trump, not a leadership race.
I think we can still focus on Trump. The main thing we had to focus on with Trump, I think, is the trade tariffs, and see how we can justify that and try and move the needle on it. But with regards to statements that Donald Trump makes about Canada or Greenland or anywhere else, that's up to him. If he's trying to get Fox News to pay attention to him, he's doing a great job.
Should Trudeau have resigned earlier? It was last January you first called for a leadership race, and he left it to the last minute.
Yeah, and that's, I always said it's up to the Prime Minister to decide if he wants to leave. I think the timing is not perfect. Because, like you say, we're right into a leadership race now, and a bunch of people stepping up to say, I want to be Prime Minister, and so on. So it's going to be It's going to be a rough couple of months, I think, with people beating each other to death.
Thank you, Ken.
Thanks very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.
What should be done about the Donald Trump situation?
What do you think of this leadership race happening while, Canada is under threat by Donald Trump? Do you think it's a bad timing?
Oh, the timing's off for sure, but it is what it is, and we will do what we have to do to ensure that Canada stays strong and viable.
What do you make of Donald Trump's talk of merging our two countries?
Oh, the guy's full of hot air. I mean, we all know that, and I think he should concentrate on his issues in his own country, because he's got lots of them.
Thank you very much.